Welcome back to Tucson Now. Over the last few weeks, we have shown you CD7 candidates live here at the top of the morning, and this Monday morning is no different. Please help me to welcome, there he is from the Green Party, CD7 candidate Eduardo Quintana. Sir, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. So we start these conversations off usually in the same way. What do you believe makes you uniquely qualified for this seat?
Well, I think the most compelling moral issue of the day is the genocide going on in Gaza. And I'm the only candidate of all the CD7 candidates running that's opposed to stopping the genocide in Gaza and stopping aid to Israel. If we do that, the genocide will stop. So that's the main thing that distinguishes me from the other candidates.
Yeah, so what does that look like? Say we're forward looking, right? You have the seat, you're the representative. What does that look like in helping to stop that?
Well, as a congressperson, I would immediately introduce a bill to stop all aid to Israel. And that would stop it. That would stop the genocide going on. I think it's a horrible message during these very chaotic, violent times. It's a horrible message to be sending to the kids and to the public that this is how we approach problems and answers in the world. It's in a very violent way. And so I think the kids, especially the kids, they need people to look up to in society. Political leaders, business leaders, social leaders, and this is horrible. If you're interested, anyone who wants to has access to media showing scenes of devastation, buildings pushed over, and households and digging little kids out of the rubble, dusting their little faces. It's a nightmarish scene, and I think it's a horrible moral lesson to be teaching the kids in society.
You speak about society, about teaching lessons to children, to the next generation. What are those conversations that you're having since announcing your candidacy here? Are you talking to the community? What's the feedback that you're hearing that they want changed in their representation?
Well, I think there's a leadership vacuum going on right now. The two main political parties do not give us a realistic choice. We're given the choice of evil versus lesser evil in the last election, and people have a different opinion on what lesser evil is. It's kind of like pointing fingers at each other. So, people want change, but they're very concerned. They're very scared. They see our society as confusing and unraveling. People are being evicted because profiteers are coming from equity companies, buying up homes, kicking out the residents, raising the rates. People are going to the grocery store and cannot afford the groceries. 623 people, I believe, died in Phoenix a couple of years ago from exposure to the heat, and we're going to have that again. So people have serious problems. They're looking for answers. And they look around and all they see is the status quo candidates. And you can run, you can be a very popular candidate, but that won't solve problems. And that's what we have. We have people running that are celebrities or very charismatic, but who do they represent? It's not who they are, it's who they represent. I represent the aspirations of the working people, and it's all people, because we all need health care. Green Party represents Medicare for all. Free health care for everyone from the cradle to the grave. We represent stopping all these military adventures throughout the world.
Yeah, you mentioned a little bit about the Green Party, the two-party system. Obviously, here on your lower third, you have a G in parentheses for the Green Party. You've also highlighted so many issues that you're hearing from people on the ground, from Southern Arizonans, from Tucsonans, from people living in CD7, right? So now that we've addressed all of these issues, we've also talked about your belief that the two-party system does not address all of the length of that issue for food insecurity, for inflation, for heat-related deaths. What does the Green Party then bring to the table? What are you proposing as solutions to those issues?
Well, as a congressperson, I would turn my office into an organizing hub to build the kind of movements that we need to get these changes made. I don't believe the political system will make any of these changes unless there's pressure on them, pressure by the population. So we would, of course, be supporting and building the democracy. With the democracy, then the people could weigh in and express their wishes. So one of the most compelling issues of the day right now is Iran. We're at war with Iran. I mean, maybe not actively, but we're funding it, and we're providing intelligence and guidance and strategy. And this is incredibly dangerous because we live in a nuclear age. That was weird. and this could easily turn into a nuclear war. Israel has nukes, and they're willing to use them, at least their current leadership, to maintain their apartheid system, to maintain their occupation of Gaza. And that's not good. This thing is escalating. It could escalate completely out of control. We need to stop that. I would use my office to organize opposition to go into war with Iran.
You speak a lot on international issues, right? Is that what you're hearing from the people on the ground in Southern Arizona that has their mind wrapped up in these international issues? And how could solving these international issues in the ways that you've proposed affect your the people that you're representing?
Well, evictions affects people all over the country and in Tucson as well. Hunger does too. I stopped by a fast food store the other day, and I was in a hurry, so I looked for a shady place to eat my tacos. I guess it was Taco Bell. And as I was sitting there, I looked over to the side and I saw a bunch of shrubbery as oleanders, and a young woman came out of the oleanders and went to the a giant trash bin, looked around, reached in, grabbed something, took a bite, and then went back into the oleanders. We have hunger in Tucson. That needs to be addressed. I would address that. There would be no one without shelter, and no one going hungry, and no one going without health care. As long as I was in office, at least that's what I would agitate for. That's what I would organize for. That would help the people in Tucson.
Hunger, heat-related issues, medical issues, evictions, all top of mind here for our CD7 candidate, Eduardo Quintana. It looks like we have run out of time, sir, but thank you so much for coming and letting us know, introducing to you as a candidate to the people of Tucson now. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for inviting me.